HO Talk Show.
Can you still stay here?
Okay. So Terrace, man, since you last were here, had another off season and whatnot. So kind of just bring the folks up to speed, right, about the Village, about the Jefferson District Youth Football League, and exactly what it is you're providing to the community for those that don't know.
Okay. So the Village is a local nonprofit. Right now we have the Charlottesville Black Knights youth football program, ages 5 to 14. This past year, we got the Buford Middle School team. So that's also under our umbrella now.
Okay.
Nice. So we do mentoring, we do tutoring.
Nice.
Trying to find a facility now. Kind of want to create a space like a safe haven where they can come work out, they can come out and study, hang out with their friends and get mentored.
Yeah.
With some counseling and stuff like that. Because I think that's missing in our community too. So just trying to balance it out, and a lot of people don't understand that it's more than football.
Right.
Like it's really family.
Yeah.
So we this past year we had 3 teams.
Okay.
So we went from 1 to 3. We were missing the 8 and 9 year age group. Successful.
Okay.
Our middle school team, we won the championship. Our 2 younger teams, they missed the playoffs by 1 game. So
okay, progress for sure.
So yeah, we're just fighting, trying to get it back to what it used to be. Build the pride, and the teamwork, and let the kids know, like, stay together, stay together. Y'all gonna build the teamwork. Y'all gonna know each other. It's gonna function. And then when y'all get to the high school,
right,
you're not gonna have to think. You're gonna know where your teammate is,
right,
because you've been playing with them.
Right.
So if we can build that, I think we'll be fine. Yeah.
So can I ask how that especially the mentoring part and building the camaraderie is coming along? Because, like you said, that is perhaps the greatest thing that you're doing.
Yeah. It's coming. It's coming. I think it takes the kids a while to trust.
Okay.
And that's another thing.
Yeah.
So you got to build trust with them. So they won't tell you certain things, and then as time goes along, they're telling you stuff that they're not telling their parents.
Okay.
And it's nothing crazy, but like they confide in you.
Right.
So as long as you can build a trust and just show them that you're there for them. And again, it has to be more than just football. They got to be off the field, like at home, at school.
Right.
And if those things aren't functioning well, you're not gonna function well here.
Right.
But yeah, just let them know, like, building the trust within them, and that builds the trust with us. So,
got you.
Yep.
That's big. That's big. So Perris, man, let's step up to the mic. Hey, man. So thank you as well for your involvement. And for those that don't know, tell them your quick history. As a student athlete, Perris, because I think folks need to hear that. I don't want to take for granted that everybody knows who former UVA football player Perris Jones is. So your journey as a student athlete to sort of now, right, to wanting to give back and help out in such a way with youth football.
All right. So, I went to high school in Northern Virginia. Wasn't really highly recruited by your top level D1 teams, just because y'all probably can't see, but I'm not that tall. So I don't really pass the eye test that they're looking for. But I was presented with an opportunity to attend this university as a walk-on, which is a pay-for-play situation for those who don't understand that. But it's a chance, it's an opportunity. And so I was kind of always raised on the fact that that's all you needed. You get an opportunity, then you work for whatever you earn after that. And so I went through a lot of difficult times, of not receiving what I wanted. I also had dreams of playing and starting at this university, which wasn't really a common thing to do for walk-ons. And so I worked really, really, really hard, did everything that I possibly could to put myself in a position to be able to realize that dream and that goal. And I was blessed to be able to do so. Under Coach Elliott and his staff.
That's awesome.
And was able to, do pretty good for myself. And then once I was presented with an opportunity to potentially go to the next level, I then got hurt, sustained a career-ending injury where I was left temporarily paralyzed. But I'm blessed have mobility back. So
that's right.
Points there. And then now I received 3 degrees from the University of Virginia.
Awesome.
2 bachelors in African American Studies and English, and a master's in educational psychology. And now I'm in pursuit of my doctorate degree in educational leadership and organizational development.
Oh,
hey. What's up. That is what's up, man. And congrats on all that success. And for sure. Man, and thank you for sharing that, because that is so inspirational, right? On so many levels, right? The whole idea of not giving up, and even when, like you said, not being top recruited, still didn't stop you, because you knew that you still had the ability, still had the passion, right, to still go after it. And then at the end of the day, when all said and done, you also set yourself up for success as a man. And I know that's something that Perris preaches as well, man. Is football can be a tool to use, for so many things, teaches you so many lessons, and can prepare you for so many things, man. So how did you get presented with the opportunity to get involved with the Black Knights Youth Football League?
Right. So Miss Amanda Burns.
Shout out to Amanda.
Shout out to Miss Amanda. She so her son and I we were roommates for a while.
Okay.
So that kind of began our relationship. And I told her what my goals and aspirations are, which one day I want to have my own nonprofit. I'm just benefiting kids that don't really have a chance. You know what I mean? Because I feel everybody deserves one. That opportunity that I received, I feel like every kid deserves that. So later on down the line, I want to create something that gives them that, and not just in the sports realm, but any field that they're interested in. Yeah. And so I told her anyway I could be involved that she has for me, let me know, and she presented this opportunity, and it's just a perfect combination of my 2 loves, the youth and football. So I don't think there's a better way to teach somebody about life than through sports. And my personal experience, football is the best way to do that. So when she presented the opportunity, I was all for it.
Yeah. Good stuff. Fam, we are talking to none other than Perris Jones, Terrence Smith of the Jefferson District Youth Football League, Charlottesville Black Knights. And they have a camp coming up. The Village presents the JDYFL Charlottesville Black Knights Camp in association with the 100 Black Men as well. And that's Saturday, April 26th, 2025, of course. And as we said, special guest, UVA's own Perris Jones. And this will take place at Charlottesville High School, April 26th this month, starting at 1 p.m. and at 5 p.m. It's $10 per child, $5 each additional child. For each additional child in the same household. And early bird registration is now available at thevillage.org. For more info, you can contact Terris as well, 804-933-4144. And this info is also posted on the IMHO page as well. So Terris, coming off of last year, as any good coach does, what are the lessons? What are we focusing on first thing this year?
Building the staff. We had a good coaching staff. So this year, I'm bringing in an OC and a DC. So Ottawa Anderson, he'll be my OC, and he played at UVA as well. So he's coming on, and then James Thomas will be my DC. I'll still be the head coach of the oldest team, but it gives me more flexibility to kind of deal with the players, deal with the parents, the whole shebang. So that kind of takes a lot off my plate. So now I can float a little bit more, and kind of help the other teams as well. Our coaching staff is young. Everybody's learning. You continue to learn. Maurice Grooms, he's our it's called Explorers anymore. He's our freshman coach. So that's the 5 through 7. So he was a first year head coach last year. He's learning. He's developing quickly, and he wants to learn. And it's just 5 to 7 year olds.
Yeah.
You
hope it comes together in the game.
Yeah. I mean, and they enjoyed it. I think that was the biggest thing. Once they got to the game, you could see the progress throughout the season. Yeah. So they're learning. We're huge on safety. On safety. So for them this year, we are going to implement the Guardian shells.
That's for the helmets.
That's for the helmets. Yeah. Just extra protection. They don't know how to fall. A lot of them don't tackle, form tackle the way they should. So just instilling that in them, trying to beat that horse every day.
Right. I was gonna say make them run, but I'm real competitive.
Oh
so
no,
I won't say that.
we run. And like I was in the military, so it's like you mess up, everybody messes up. So I think we were able to like really get them tight knit because nobody wants to run,
right?
And nobody wants to be the reason that you got to run, that you got to do hills. We did a lot of hills, you know, and that's from the youngest kids to the oldest, like bear crawl, like we did
football.
Yeah, we worked, and it showed.
Okay.
So,
absolutely.
I think the Buford team the year before, they didn't win a game.
Okay.
They were losing games by like 70 points.
That's tough.
Yeah, like you don't want to play, you know. So it was kind of tough getting them out at first. You know, like I don't want to do that. And I'm like, dude, it's going to be different. But you got to convince them that it's going to be different. You got to make it look different, make it feel different. So we had a lot of pushback, a lot of, oh, man, it's not going to work. I want to play here. I want to play there. That's not how it works. You know, like, I want to play quarterback. Dude, you're a tight end. You know, and I'm like, I'm not going to tell you anything wrong. I'm going to put you in a position where you can be successful.
Okay.
Like, I don't want to put you, like, you can, if you want to be a quarterback, you got to work. But right now, you can't play quarterback. This is just how it works. So we went through that process. And it took a while. You know, this kid doesn't like this kid. All right, cool, we're going to run. Like, y'all run beside each other.
Right.
There you go.
So we got to build it.
Right.
And by the end of the season, like, they loved it. You know, like you could tell they loved the game again. So I'm just preaching to them, like, stay together. Like, if you get an opportunity to go to another school, like a private school or something like that, cool. But if you're going to be in a public school, you just live in the city, try to stay together. Because, like, it's only going to get easier, you know, as you get older.
Right.
But yeah, I think we were 8-1. We lost one game.
Nice.
We lost the Alamo, I think by like 3 points or something.
Okay.
And then we ended up beating them in the playoffs, in the first round of the playoffs.
Okay.
So, you know.
Yeah. So I heard you mention on how the Explorers name changed. So like, let the folks know about that structure in case there was any other changes. Like, what's your age groups?
Yeah. So the freshman age group is 5 to 7. Sophomores are 8-9. Juniors are 10-11, and then seniors are 12 to 14. And the Buford team actually does not have a registration fee because they're under the school. So the school takes care of that for them.
Oh, nice.
Nice. For everyone else, the registration fee is $150. You can pay it in 2 payments. If you need more time, if you need to pay it a different way, we'll work it out. Biggest thing is getting the kids out, making sure we provide them with the opportunity to play. We also have cheerleading. Cheerleading was, you know, it was a lot last year. It was kind of last minute.
Okay.
I don't like last minute, but they were like, oh, we got some girls who want to do it. So we did it. But this year, we're actually bringing Tania Dow.
Okay.
So she's going to be the cheer coach.
Okay.
So cheerleading is available 5 to 14 as well. Again, Buford, if you go to Buford, there's no fee. The registration fee for the cheerleaders is $152.
Okay.
So for the other age groups.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Can I ask how your league works together with the high school program? There's a lot for people that may not be into sports. I mean, these two pieces really need to work together if you're trying to develop the kids at such a young age to prepare them to be able to play at the high school level and potentially, you know, win a championship. We need to all be practicing the same and knowing the same, running the same plays and working together on a lot of different levels. So how's that going?
It's going. So last year, CHS, they had to make some changes like in mid-season. We didn't make those changes mid-season.
Okay.
the kids are young, so it's a lot. The Buford kids, we kind of tried to change with them.
Okay.
Just so, because that's where they're going next. So we want to have the feeder program intact.
Yeah.
So I work with Terrell Mulford. He's the head coach in Charlottesville.
Okay.
So I'm working with him. His playbook, I tweak it a little bit, but same terminology, same formations, everything like that. And we do that all the way down. Of course, for the freshmen, the play isn't as long. So it's a dive, 32 dive. You know, so that's it for them. But for the older kids, we want them to be prepared to understand what the high school playbook is going to look like. So we give them the calls.
Okay.
And we also try to give them, well, for the older kids, I let the quarterback make calls during the game too. Because I'm showing I trust you. Like, I trust you. It's on you. Like, this play on you.
Right.
And most of the time he did a good job. Okay. But yeah, just building trust with him. But Terrell's good. Like, Terrell's gonna be fine. But it's getting the kids. So like, we had 38. I think he had 26 on varsity. So 38 going to the high school, your numbers should go up. And hopefully they do. But I think they'll be fine. Like I said, we can keep them together. They'll win a championship.
Okay.
Because it's enough talent. It's enough talent. But it's just keeping them together.
Okay. Yeah. And that's kind of key, man, that you said that, to keeping them together part, because, you know, we are a pretty tight-knit community area, you know, so it'd be easy for somebody to be in city the whole, up until high school, and they have Monticello, Albemarle, whatever the case is. Like, but you are seeing those incremental changes, because from the outside looking in, it definitely seems that way, right? Of like, we almost had a generation, and we've talked about it on the show, even with you last year, on how even there were some adults that were like speaking out, and we're like, whoa, I remember these are kids still, you know, that we're talking about. But the fact of the matter was that we seem to have a generation that just lost interest in football.
We did.
Right? And so then that showed on the field, right? And so, but it's good to hear that, you know, like the incrementally the same way that you're seeing how the youth team had improved from the year before, right? If we keep that going, and then as they grow, you know, hopefully I'm sure that's the goal, is for it to translate to the high school ranks, right? Yeah,
we're trying to teach them the basics. So Terrell's having an issue. The issue right now is he's getting the kids in high school that haven't played football. They don't know how to tackle. They don't know how to block. So he's having to spend a good portion of the off season in practice teaching them that the techniques. We're trying to eliminate that. So when they get there, he has 2 hours of practice where they can work on plays instead of learning how to block. Learning how to tackle.
Right.
You know, of course you do your drills, you practice that, but he doesn't have to spend an hour on it. You can spend 15 minutes. So that's the biggest thing, I think, is for us, for the kids going to them, is we're taking that part out of it. So he has time to work on their craft, their technique, just little things.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah, and Perris, I'm curious too with your take on that, of going through so many levels of football. Like when you mentioned the 5 to 7 year olds, now I can imagine a lot of that is more so like before you even get to football, right? It's like I can imagine some of the practices may just be, all right, guys, like here's how we just like work together, right? It's more about teamwork than it is getting into this is what you do in a game situation, you know, with the 5-7. But I'm curious, Perris, on your take when it comes to these different levels, like from the youngest to the oldest, like what's some of your experiences, you know, that you plan to sort of impart at those levels. When you think about, man, when I was 5, like, you know, here's where my mind was before I even got to the high school level.
Yeah, so at a young age, it was just all about love for the game, man. Like, you know, the Oklahoma drills, like getting acquainted with being hitting, and tackling and all that stuff, and really falling in love with it. Because I think at first, for a lot of kids, it's kind of scary. It scares them, you know, like, I don't want to get hit. You know, I don't want to be a part of that contact. But once you kind of become acquainted with it and get more used to it, and just like Coach is saying, like, that's so true. I could definitely tell the difference between the high schools that we have played, because I was blessed to be able to go to a private school. But the level of competition we were playing, we would play some public schools, and you could tell that they hadn't had the fundamentals. So whereas they were going into games like on a basic level, we're learning that, you know, when they shift their weight this way, this means that they're running here. So it's a whole nother level of the game being played. And I think definitely by, you know, what they're doing, implementing the fundamentals of the game, the knowledge of the game, and the love for the game by the time they get to high school, it just makes the game so much simpler, you know, and it adds to what you can be able to do, which just makes your overall team better, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what's up. And so, what's your what's going to be your involvement? You know, directly. Like, are you one of the coaches, or are you one of the camp leaders, or what's going to be your roles this year?
I was just coming to be a part of the camp,
okay,
for right now. But I'm definitely open to being involved as much as I possibly can moving forward. You know, it's all about getting back to the younger generation, so I'm all for that in any way I can do it.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Appreciate you.
And I'll just say also, I imagine, Terrence, and even for the high school coaching staff, there's a level of pressure that's placed on all of you to be successful. I think that going back to Charles's comment about his kids losing interest in football, is that, you know, sometimes we lose interest because we don't like to lose. Like, you got to be able to show us why it's worthwhile. We want to join something that's going to be successful. So back to what I was saying, though, there's a level of pressure that's placed on you to make sure your program performs well, and I'm sure you're committed to making it successful as possible, but also to the high school program, because I was one of those parents sitting in the stands that was, you know, my heart was being ripped out with some of the stuff that was going on out there on the field. But outside of trusting the team, trusting one another and trusting staff, they also have to be given a reason to want to be out there and to give it their all.
Yeah. I think for the younger generation, you have to kind of like attack their mental.
Of course.
So they're very social media driven. So last year we did a lot to kind of grab at them. So we had like the turnover chain.
Okay.
That, you know, like they see the college teams have the turnover chain. We also had like the championship belt for the linemen.
Okay.
So linemen don't get a lot of love. You know, the turnover chain, they might get a fumble recovery here and there or something like that. But like, just when you make a big play or if the offensive line wins games, like that's where the game's on in trenches. So you got to show them appreciation.
Right.
So we got big guys I know some big guys that just wanted to play basketball. And like little stuff, just grabbing at them. We got a sports tunnel. We got that last year. So they get to run out of the sports tunnel at home games. Like just little stuff to keep bringing them in. But I think it's just the pressure of it it's easier when they trust you.
Right.
It just is. Right. I don't know, like you show them that you trust them, they trust you, it's easier. And I don't ever like we won the championship and like the trophy, I don't want the trophy at my house, like on a night, you know, on the mantle. It's cool. That's great. But I want it at the school.
Right.
Like I got a picture of the boys, a canvas of the boys from the Super Bowl, the trophy. You know, they're building on to Buford. So he just told me to hold on to it. But that's gonna go up at the school.
On display.
Because when they walk in, now you see it.
Right.
Now you want to be a part of it. Because you're like, oh, they did that. We can do that.
Right.
But that kind of takes the pressure off. And they, like, I guess as a coach, you got to understand that they do most of the work. Like, we do a lot. But when it comes to the lights being on, it's on them.
Yeah.
You know? So I think kind of evening the pressure out, saying like, you know, we have to get you ready, but game time, it's on you.
Right.
So it kind of takes the pressure off the coaching staff and kind of evens it out both ways.
Yeah. And I should add, I had a kid playing, it was a senior at Charleston High School. So it's a high school game. It's not your game. So.
Yeah.
Max is very competitive. If y'all don't know that. Max is not like losing. So, but she got a couple of young football players. Hopefully they're gonna be out there, Miss Max, because I've seen them in their flag league. But the boys get it natural from their daddy.
Right. Let's see. Thanks, Charles.
But Yeah, so we are joined by with Perris and Perry from Black Knights youth football camp coming up. So go ahead and let the folks know sort of what to expect. When it comes to the registration process. All the nooks and crannies of that from to get set up the deadlines and that good stuff.
Yeah, so the registration process super easy now. We actually switched the vendor that we were using because they were not good.
Okay.
It wasn't pleasant. Wasn't like mobile friendly. I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I like simple. Like the parents like simple.
Okay.
So the registration super simple. It's on the village.org. There's a flyer. You just click on it and you can register your kids. It's literally one page.
Okay.
And you can pay at the end of it.
Okay.
With Visa, MasterCard. They're working on putting Apple Pay and Google Pay and all of that stuff on there. The deadline is at the end of the 25th, but if they show up the 26th, they can just pay there.
Okay.
If anybody wants to sponsor kids, you can reach out to us on social media. Again, it's $10. If a parent can't pay, reach out to us. Like, we want the kids out, so we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Again, we like to try to keep the camps affordable. I don't like charging
$10 is really affordable. Really affordable.
So so drinks and snacks will be provided.
Okay.
We'll have the coaches will be running drills. At the end, we'll have to let the kids have some fun, flag game or some one-on-ones.
Yeah.
They love that. So just build.
Yeah.
And as far as help, is there any more volunteers needed?
Yeah, for sure. If you're interested in volunteering, just reach out to us on social media. There's a place for you. Like, I know last year we had, I think it was 80 kids come out. So we're waiting to hear back from some guys. So hopefully we can get some more guys out. But definitely, like, we'll have our coaching staff, Charlottesville's coaching, the high school's coaching staff will be there. But yeah, if you're interested in helping out, come on out.
Yep. And and so is all volunteer staff?
Yeah.
Okay, it's all volunteer. Yep. And if you have folks who's looking to sponsor and be supportive, is that still needed? Like I say, they reach out the same way.
Yep, you reach out the same way. Yeah, we're looking for sponsors for the season as well. So if you're interested in sponsoring, you can reach out to us on social media. I have a sponsorship package I can send you. But yeah.
And that even though we said $10, but that sponsorship though could be for registrations. It could be for supporting the team. Anything, right?
It could be you can sponsor whatever you want. So, like the cheerleaders, we have to get uniforms this year.
Okay.
We ordered some last year. The guy that did them did an awful job. I did not like it. I like when stuff looks good.
Right.
You look good. You feel good. You play good. Cheer good. So we're gonna get new uniforms.
Okay.
I can't do it. I can't look at it.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, I don't like it. So we're gonna fix it.
Okay.
I think that's a big part of it too, because the kids like nice stuff. We like nice stuff.
Right.
And again, you look good, you feel good, you play good.
That's right.
Yeah. And as far as those supporters that you guys already have, and what anybody you want to shout out, and your folks is already besides you already mentioned the coaches and whatnot, but are there any partners, community partners and stuff?
So the city of Charlottesville, Charlottesville City Schools, big sponsor last year was B&L Dumpsters.
Okay.
So they actually sponsored our younger kids' uniforms. So on the back of the uniform, we actually have their name on the nameplate.
Nice.
So big supporter, super cool guy, very humble, and he said he'll help out whenever he can. So for all your dumpster needs, reach out to B&L Dumpsters.
There you go.
Yeah, but Mel's Barbershop also sponsored our banquet.
Okay.
And the Men and Women of Distinction sponsored our banquet. And the Men and Women of Distinction are a local nonprofit as well.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. And now you did mention the season. So even though I know the hyper focus is on the camp, but the season registrations have they started yet, or like when is that? Open?
So the season registration it actually opened April 1st.
Okay.
So that's open on the website as well. Again, super easy registration. And if you register for the season before the camp, you don't have to pay the $10. Mm-hmm. So I try to help out like any way I can. So but yeah, we're working. So again, we use Sports Engine. They're great. Okay. Like, I love it. And the registration is easy. You can upload your documents. It's super, super easy.
So let me throw something at you as a parent of two kids that have played flag football. I'm on the fence of whether or not they're ready for tackle, graduate to tackle, or should we do another year of flag so that they can understand the concept of the game? I'm sure I can't be the only parent that's thinking that way. What's your response to that?
Flag football is great. It's different from tackle. So if you feel like they are excelling in flag, they're probably ready for tackle. Okay. Again, it's different. People can talk about the safety concerns. There are safety concerns in every sport. Soccer actually has the most concussions in any sport. Okay. So, like, again, it's the safety part of it. We're trying to teach it the right way. Okay. So as long as the coaching staff that you're taking your kids to is going to take care of your kids, like they're kids, then I think they're fine. Okay. Yeah. But that's what we're saying. If they're excelling at flag, then they're probably ready for tackle. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Good answer. Yeah. Well, Terrence and Perris, what did we miss? Want to make sure that you all, have your final word and whatnot as well to get folks excited. Hopefully we've been doing a good job of that, but leading into camp and the season to get folks ready for for another year of the Village's Black Knights camp and football season.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot to mention the 100 Black men will also be helping at the camp. Okay. So
shout out to them.
Yeah, so they'll be there, and they're good. They're a great organization as well. But yeah, I mean, just getting excited about football, building that back up, and like really building the village to where you can trust the coaches with your kids, and you're like, I can take him there, and they're gonna be competitive. They're gonna win. They're gonna take care of my kids. Right. So to all the parents, my motto is I'm not gonna put your kid in any situation that I wouldn't put my own kid in. So my son is 1.5. He'll play football. I'm not gonna coach him because I don't like that, but he'll play football. But we're gonna take care of your kids the way we take care of our kids. So bring your kids out. We'll have fun. We'll be safe, and we'll be competitive.
All right.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. That is good stuff. Like, it sounds psychological.
Yeah.
Because you're convincing the players and the students that that this sport is something that you can win at, right, and be good at, regardless of what recent past has said. And then you also have the parents too, like Max stated. A lot of parents are curious about the safety of it, right? So yeah, let's see, y'all are mentors, psychologists, coaches,
right, all that.
Yeah, you're doing your thing.
It's 90% mental all the way around.
Yeah.
Good all stuff. The way around.
Yeah. And Perris, thank you for joining us as well, man. But want to give you a chance. If there's anything else that you want to share as well about folks coming out. To the parents, the kids, or what have you, about getting excited about a year of football.
Yeah, man, I just would say just to trust the process, if you can be not emotionally attached to the result, but more so fully dubbed into the process, then, you'll love who you become and the opportunities you gain from it. But sometimes it truly is about the journey, and not only that, but I think that building something special. So just trust the process, and fully commit to it. The game teaches you a lot. It gives you a lot. It requires a lot, but it gives you a lot as well. So just trust it.
Love it.
That's good.
Appreciate you, brothers. Keep up the great work in the community, but with the kids, because the work you're doing is priceless when it comes to the youth, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, I personally want to take the time to thank the organizations, entities, whoever, companies who have supported this group financially, because your money is going towards a big deal. This is major. We hear about all the things in the news that our young people are doing that aren't so good. A lot of stuff that's harmful to their bodies, placing them in jails and prisons, so on and so forth. And just simply, in some cases, just not living a good, productive life. And this program is one among many that can change a life. And it's not just about the sport, but it's the mentorship and the support and the love that is behind all of that these that the staff or members of this organization are pouring into your young kids. And so I would recommend any parent, bring your kids out, let them be a part of this, let them be a part of something productive, something that's going to help prepare them for their older years, those difficult times in school, difficult times as a young adult, and things like that. There'll be seeds planted here that they can use to then carry them through life, and that's real important. It's real important. I mean, heck, if you can't do it, at least put them in an environment where someone else can do it. Okay. Right. So thank you all for joining us today. Thank you for what you're doing, the way that you serve our kids. Our kids. We appreciate it.
Yep. And I got a question for y'all. The NFL draft is coming up. Do you choose position or what is it? Do you choose position or best available? Yeah.
I think
wait, some of them might.
Yeah,
I think y'all pick.
I think for me it depends on the team. I'm an Eagles fan.
Okay.
We got hoes now because we lost a lot of guys. So I think you take the best player available. Yeah, I think right now you take the best player available for like the Eagles. If I'm the Titans,
and they got the number one pick.
They got the number one pick. So quarterback is king in the NFL. So I think they take a quarterback. But if I'm them, I kind of build my O line and D line up, and then take a quarterback after that's good.
Okay.
Because that's the key. Okay. Like you could take a quarterback, but if you don't have any protection, that quarterback's gonna struggle. So I will go best player available.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I'm hearing you correctly, if your team is pretty good, then you can do best player.
Yeah.
But if your team has a bunch of holes, you got to fill certain positions. You go, I got you. That makes sense. I don't think I heard any ESPN analyst explain that as well as you just explained it. I'll be honest with you.
But what say you, Perris?
Yeah, I'm of the same mind frame. It really depends on your team and what you're missing and what you need. And I think if there are needs, then you got to fill those needs. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it is about the team. So it's about making that machine run as well as possible. But if you don't have any leaks, just continue adding what you got. So it really is subjective to each team.
But y'all know the risk with that. General manager is going to get fired the following year if we get like once in a generation talent, right? Like let's say Shador or Cam, which I'm more of a Cam guy myself, Cam Ward guy. And I feel like he's a generational talent. I do too. If it was me at the top pick, I'm going Cam. Okay with my team. I'm just saying. No, thank y'all. Look, I'm gonna have to come chop it up with y'all. Talk some football. I'm trying to get out there too, as well as and help out as much as I can. So appreciate y'all. So family, all the links and flyers and everything are on our page as well. Charlottesville Black Knights Jefferson District Youth Football League camp and season is open for registration. So follow IMHO Talk Show for more information to get linked to these good gentlemen. All right. Time to get y'all.